explained on the basis of crystal field theory. So these magnetic properties are well explained on the basis of crystal field theory. The magnitude of crystal field splitting also determines the magnitude of crystal field splitting. Crystal field splitting determines the magnetic properties. Determines magnetic properties of the complexes. Remember, in case of D1, D2 and D3, the magnetic properties are same, that all these complexes are paramagnetic in nature. But from D4 onwards, the magnetic properties are well explained on the basis of crystal field splitting. In case of D4, if there are such type of two set of orbital, that is EG and this is a T2G, there are two types of complexes may be formed, that is high spin and low spin. Suppose these are high spin complexes, then low spin complexes have some more splitting like this. This is about low spin complexes. This is EG set of orbitals and this is a T2G set of orbitals. So in case of octahedral complexes, in case of D4, first 3 electrons enters into T2G set of orbital. T2G set of orbital. But fourth electron, in this case, in case of high spin complexes, since the splitting is less, the electron enters into EG set of orbital. EG set of orbitals. But in case of low spin complexes, or when the crystal field splitting is more, then first 3 electron enters into T2G set of orbital, but the fourth electron will prefer to pair with these low energy orbitals than entering into higher energy AG orbitals. So this is a high spin complex and this is a low spin complex in case of D4 case. So we may say that this compound is paramagnetic with respect to 4 unpaired electron and this complex is paramagnetic with respect to 2 unpaired electron. So this is a more paramagnetic, high spin complex is more paramagnetic as compared to low spin complexes. So from magnitude of splitting we will come to know the magnetic properties. In this case splitting is less, which is a more paramagnetic, and high spin complexes are formed. Now let us see the D5 case. In case of D5, suppose this is a EG set of orbital and this is a T2G set of orbitals. Then electron enters first in this and remaining 2 electrons enters into EG set of orbital, D5 case. But if low spin complex is there, crystal field splitting is more. If crystal field splitting is more, such type of behavior is observed. In this case, the 3 electrons first enters into T2G set of orbital and they prefer to pair with these electrons with the T2G set. Now, in case of D5, if the complex is high spin or the crystal field splitting is less, it is paramagnetic with respect to 5 unpaired electron and this is paramagnetic with respect to 1 unpaired electron. So in case of D5, most paramagnetic complex is formed which is a high spin complex. Similarly, we can explain in case of D6 and D5. Suppose in case of D6, this is a high spin complex and this is a low spin complex. High spin and low spin complex. So this is a EG set of orbital and this is a T2G set of orbital. So in case these D6 electrons, first of all they enter into different orbitals like this and then it starts pairing into lower energy level. So this is the electronic configuration in case of D6 when high spin complex is formed, and when low spin complex is formed or when splitting is more, then in that case, the electron enters into lower energy orbitals, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. Now, in case of D6, high spin complex is paramagnetic with respect to 4 unpaired electrons, and low spin complex is diamagnetic. It cannot contain any unpaired electron. In case of D7, suppose this is a D7 case, this is a EG set of orbital, and this is a T2G set of orbital, that is splitting is less. Then in that case, electron first enters like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, like this. But in case of when the crystal field splitting is more, this is EG set of orbital, and this is a T2G set of orbital. When crystal field splitting is more, electron first occupies singly, then undergoes pairing, and last electron enters in EG set of orbital. Now in this case, high spin complex is paramagnetic with respect to 3 unpaired electrons, and low spin complex is paramagnetic with respect to 1 unpaired electron. So from these cases, that is D4, D5, D6 and D7, this high spin and low spin is observed in case of this D4, D5, D6 and D7 cases. D1, D2, D3, there is no problem in case of D1, D2, D3, D8, D9 and D10. There is no such differentiation is there, high spin and low spin, because in case electronic configuration is same in case of high spin or low spin complexes. Their magnetic properties are same, hence there is no differentiation as high spin and low spin complexes. But from D4 to D7, we will come to conclusion that if crystal field splitting is less, then more paramagnetic complexes, the complexes formed are more paramagnetic. And if crystal field splitting is more, then the complexes formed are less paramagnetic, or in some cases these are diamagnetic. So from the magnitude of the crystal field splitting, we can explain the magnetic properties of the complexes on the basis of CFT. So this is about the magnetic properties which are explained on the basis of CFT. Now, next part that we have to see in case of CFT is what are the limitations of the CFT? What are limitations of CFT? What are limitations of CFT? First thing is that CFT explains only about the central metal ions with d orbitals, but it cannot explain what about s and p orbitals. It explains about d orbitals, but it cannot explain about s and p orbitals. Then second thing is there, this theory cannot explain the pi bonding in complexes. Pi bonding in complexes cannot be explained by this theory. Then this theory, in spectrochemical series we have observed that H2O is a strong field ligand than OH minus. Even though it contains negative ion and H2O is neutral, it is considered as more strong field ligand than OH minus. This behavior or this series, in this series, that cannot be explained that why H2O is more strong field ligand, why it produces more strong field as compared to OH minus. Then according to this theory, metal and ligand bond is considered as ionic or electrovalent, but the theory cannot explain partly ionic nature, partly covalent nature of the ionic bond. in CFT, it is considered that the attraction between metal and ligand is purely electrostatic attraction, that is, the bond is ionic. But this theory cannot explain the partly covalent nature of this ionic bond. So these are the limitations. Some of the limitations are of CFT. That limitations may be explained in the further theories, that is MOT, molecular orbital theory, and ligand field theory. But these theories are out of scope. These cannot be explained in this case. So these are the limitations of crystal field theory, and this is about crystal field theory. So in crystal field theory, questions may be asked or MCQs may be asked like that. The complexes, out of the following complexes, which is inner orbital complex or outer orbital complex, which is high spin or low spin complex, or which is a more paramagnetic complex, which is a diamagnetic complex, such type of questions, or in colors, the wavelength of light absorbed and all these things that we have discussed. Then magnetic properties, on magnetic properties, which of the following is paramagnetic, more paramagnetic, less paramagnetic, that we have discussed on the basis of CFT. So most applicable MCQs may be asked on this beat. Then next article that we have to see is bonding in metal carbonyl. Bonding in metal carbonyl. Next article that we have to see is bonding in metal carbonyl. So compounds containing carbonyl ligands are known as homoleptic carbonyls. These are known as homoleptic carbonyls. So complexes having carbonyl group are known as homoleptic carbonyls. Homoleptic carbonyls. And these metal carbonyls or these homoleptic carbonyls have well-defined structures or geometries. They have well-defined structures and coordination for polyhedra or geometries. For example, NiCO4 is tetrahedral. NiCO4 is tetrahedral. Then FeCO5 is trigonal bipyramidal. FeCO5 is trigonal bipyramidal. CO6, that is hexacarbonyl cobalt, is octahedral in nature. Then Mn2 CO10, this is a decacarbonyl diamanganese. It contains 2 square pyramidal units. 2 square pyramidal units which are linked to each other. Then this CO8, that is octacarbonyl dicobalt. Octacarbonyl dicobalt. It has a bridged ligands, and hence this complex is known as bridged complex. It is a bridged complex because it has bridged ligands like this. This is a CO, that is cobalt. This is a CO, that is cobalt. This is a carbonyl group. This is a carbonyl group. This is also carbonyl group. And one more carbonyl group is like that. Another is carbonyl group. This is a carbonyl group. This is a carbonyl group. This is a carbonyl group. These two are cobalt. This is octacarbonyl cobalt. But these C2CO These are the bridged ligands, or they have bridged bonds. Hence, it is a bridged complex or bridged ligand. Bridged complex is there. So, these metal carbonyls or homoleptic carbonyls have well-defined structures and geometries, and these are explained on this basis. Or these are the different geometries of the carbonyl compounds. In all these cases, these central metal ions have zero oxidation state because CO is the neutral ligand, and hence their oxidation state is zero. In all these complexes, there is a zero oxidation state. Now what we have to see is that we have to see the bonding in metal carbonyls. Metal carbonyl bond, we have to see what about metal carbonyl bond. So this MCO bond has both S and P character. It has both S and P character. This MC bond or sigma bond, this is a sigma bond which is formed by donation of lone pair of electron from carbonyl group to vacant d orbitals of the metal ion. Sigma bond is formed by donation of lone pair of electrons from carbonyl group to from field CO2 vacant d orbitals of the metal. D orbitals of the metal. And MC pi bond is formed by donation of electron pairs from field d orbitals of the metal ion, field d orbitals of metal to vacant orbitals of the carbonyl groups. Antibonding orbitals, vacant orbitals of CO group. So this forms MC sigma bond is formed by donation of lone pair of electron from carbonyl to metal, that is vacant d orbitals of the metal, and pi bond is formed by donation of field d orbitals, electrons from the field d orbitals of the metal ion to vacant antibonding orbitals of the carbonyl group. And this gives these two total effect, that is synergic effect is there. It becomes more strong. It gives more strength to this MC bond, and hence this MC bond is a more strong bond due to cumulative or synergic effect of these two bonds. This MC bond is a strong bond. So this is the bonding in metal carbonyls. Then next article that we have to see is stability of coordination compounds. Stability of coordination compound. Stability of coordination compounds. The stability of coordination compound in solution is considered by taking into consideration stability constant. The thermodynamic stability of the complexes is determined by the extent of interaction between metal and ligand. It is determined by extent of interaction between metal and ligand. If interaction is more, that bond is strong and that complex is more stable. Actually, the formation of complex, this reaction is considered as simple acid-base reaction. Formation of complex is considered as simple acid-base reaction, because in this case central metal ion accepts the electron, hence it is a Lewis acid, and ligands donates the electron, hence it is a Lewis base. Suppose the reaction can be written as Ma plus NLX minus gives MLN B plus or minus. This A, X and B are the charges which are present on ligand, metal ion, ligand and the complex. So from this, equilibrium constant can be written for this equation as K is equal to active mass of M Ln raised to B plus or minus divided by active mass of M raised to A plus into active mass of L raised to X minus raised to N. So this is the equilibrium constant, and this equilibrium constant is considered as stability constant. This equilibrium constant is also considered as stability constant, and from that the value or magnitude of the stability constant, the stability of complexes is determined. If the value of stability constant is high, if the value of stability constant is high, then that complex is more stable. And if the value of stability constant is less, then that complex is less stable. If we see the various values of the equilibrium constant, then we will come to know that the CN complexes have higher value of equilibrium constant as compared to ammonia complexes. Hence, the CN complexes are more stable than ammonia complexes. CN complexes are more stable than ammonia complexes. So these are the considerations or observations as far as the values of these stability constants are considered. In book, various stability values of the different stability constants are given, and from the stability constant we will come to know which complex is more stable and which complex is less stable. In exam, MCQ may be asked. You may have given the different values of the equilibrium constant or stability constant for 3 to 4 complexes, and you may ask which of the following is more stable, which of the following complex is less stable, or increasing order of the stability of complexes is, or decreasing order of the stability complex is. Such type of complex MCQs may be asked. MCQ may be, the difficulty level of the MCQ may be increased on the same bit like this. If they have asked which of the following is more stable, which of the following is less stable, you will come to know from the values only which is more stable and less stable. This is a simple MCQ. But if you want to increase the difficulty level of that MCQ, then the question may be asked like this: the decreasing order of the stability of the complexes is, or increasing order of the stability of the complexes is, then you have to determine the order of that 3 to 4 complexes. Such type of MCQs may be asked on this stability. Then NCERT book, it is given that in NCERT book the stability of coordination compound is explained in some different way that we have to see. The stability constant complex in solution refers to the stability of the complexes, refers to the degree of dissociation between species involved, refers to the degree of dissociation between the species involved.